Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome, boils and ghouls, to another spooktacular episode of XSGaming Podcast. I'm your host, Xander Skullion, and joined with me is the creature of the night, the crimson-bearded cat whisperer, co-host with the mostest, Mr. James Gruesome. What's up, James?
I almost wanted to channel some Paul Stanley, with the creatures of the night. He's the coolest Kiss member. Maybe.
I agree.
Happy Great Pumpkin, Samhain, Samhain, however you fucking say it. Happy All Hallows Eve, I guess this is when we're doing it, or Happy Halloween. Hope you all are having a great one. It always is a fun time of year, no matter what may be going on, in your life like mine. As we talk about the weather, it's just been too goddamn hot to me for Halloween, and it's really kind of just ruined my mood. I keep waiting for that fall weather to be like, oh man, like things will be good. I'm just going to feel good. And it doesn't happen because it's like 85 and it's 80 and it's crappy. But you know what? We're here. We're hanging out. I've been looking forward to this because it's going to be fun. And for me, I think this is really going to kick off, my true Halloween before tomorrow, because I do love the actual day because it is crazy in my neighborhood. It's mad insane. We have a haunted house our friends do down the street. Like 1,000 people. I'm passing out candy. I got severed fingers. I got bones, spider rings, all kinds of crap, and candy. I mean, we got good candy too because we don't cheat out on that stuff, But I hope you all are doing well, and happy Halloween. And we have a very special guest, as is a tradition with us on Halloween. He's been here many times before. He is a newly married man since the last time he's been here. He's the lead singer of the Casket Creatures, helps run Theme Park Alchemy, a very awesome candle company. And, we love him. He's our brother. We'd like to welcome Ryan Cadaver. He is with us once again on Halloween.
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah, I was about to say, so much has been going on since the last time you were on the show with us. Now, I do want to say what's really exciting, it seems like every time you get on the show with us on every Halloween, there's something new happening with the Casket Creatures. And right now, there's something very exciting happening with the Casket Creatures right now, if you want to let our listeners know a little bit about that.
Yeah, we got a new EP coming out tomorrow, actually. So it'll be October 31st, so whenever you're listening. But October 31st is the official release date for digital, like Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff, for Folklore, which is the new Casket Creatures album, which I'm incredibly pleased about. Like, the reception of the few people who've heard it really has been overwhelming. So it's just really cool. We really stepped outside the box with this one and did a lot of weird stuff. It's not traditional Casket Creatures kind of stuff, but I don't know. I guess you could consider it our experimental kind of album, but I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I've listened to the new single, the 112 Ocean Avenue. Yeah, it's really good. And I remember when I first listened to it, I was like, man, you guys are channeling some old school Anthrax, in my opinion, with the
awesome.
kind of like the I don't want to say chanting, but kind of like the yelling in the background. I mean, I want to have it in our break. When we take our break, you guys are going to listen to the new single. But I was listening to it. I'm like, man, this is some good shit. It's got some really good thrash to it. And not only have you been doing stuff with the Casket Creatures, but you also have a movie coming out.
Yes. So me and James share a love, and you. Yeah. We all three share a love for cheesy 80s action movie kind of things. Like Miami Connection and Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and all these kind of really fun direct to video, kind of 80s action movies, 80s and 90s. And me and my friend Kevin, who's also a guitar player for the Cast Creatures, we helped make the last couple of videos, and the last one was a little movie almost. So we were like, man, I've seen some indie films and stuff. I'm like, honestly, I think we could do that. And I think we could do, I'm not going to say better, but we could do something that at least, something I want to see, the kind of movie that I like. So we just kind of talked about it we probably talked about it for, a couple of years. And then finally, we just, for some reason, we're like, hey, let's just write a script. And we wrote it together. It's half him, half me. We just, we had a a really cool shared script writing program called Writer Duet, where one of us could log in and write a scene, and the other person could log in and add what they want to, and we just kind of did it like that. And we ended up making this really weird 80s action with like a little tinge of horror in there, but I don't want to give too much away. And it's very much like you know, a little tongue in cheek. Like, we know that we had like, you know, I think the whole budget was $1,000, so it's like it's very low budget for a movie, like very low budget, and we knew that. And like I think we purposely played to our strengths because of that. So it's really fun. It's an ass kicking cop that's out for revenge. I mean, it's pretty tried and true.
Yeah, and you know, the cool thing about it is like a good movie doesn't have to have a huge budget. I mean, you look at some of the most iconic movies, like a lot of the early Quentin Tarantino movies, like Reservoir Dogs and you know, Clerks with Kevin Smith. I mean, a lot of those movies that are just iconic don't have a big budget. I mean, it's really about the passion. And, you know, I remember when I saw some of the trailers and stuff, and I remember we were talking back and forth about the movie, and I'm like, this is going to be freaking awesome, because it's one of those movies that's like, you guys are serious about it. Like, it's not like you guys are not 100% behind the project. You guys are very passionate, but at the same time, it's like you guys are not too scared to kind of make fun of it, because it's kind of that kind of movie, that kind of earnest action 80s movie. Like you were saying earlier with like Miami Connection and stuff, where it's just kind of like there's going to be parts of the movie where someone's going to be like, oh my God. I love that. I love it.
Oh, totally. I think it'll be a good party movie. You know, it's like one you can cut on a party and people are going to be laughing and like, oh, this is wild. You know, it's definitely one of those where it's like, we tried to ride the line between like, yeah, there's some like, you know, almost like Naked Gun level like jokes in it that are like, you know, just kind of ridiculous. But I think we did a good job of like riding the line of like trying to make it look and feel like an earnest action movie. Mm-hmm. And it's like the characters are never like in on any of the jokes. It's not like wink, wink, you know. It's like the stuff that's like goofy and like doesn't quite make sense is like that's just how it is in this weird world of 80s cinema, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's very cool too, just at the end of it, you know, no matter what with it, like it'll be a fun time, but it's like, it's really cool just the fact that you made a movie. And I'd like to give a shout out too to a friend of ours, Sharpie Riot from the Villians. It was another horror rock band who also, he did a movie a couple years back, Portfolio. Which I thought was really cool. And it's like, dude, it's like, you made a movie, you know. Friend Troy, or Ray M, he was formerly the drummer in Blitzkid. He just had a short film he actually just released too, called The Scrotum, which sounds really interesting. He got it he got it to play at a local theater near him, and it's really cool to see a lot of my friends, especially that are in, you know, the horror rock community, as you know, me and Xander are too, you know, as he played in Rick's Grimm. We're just kind of old heads in it, you know. We don't know everything that's going on right now, but it's really cool to see a lot of our friends actually make short films and full-on movies. And I just think, you know, it's just a testament. You can always say, it's like, man, I did that. And it's like, exactly, you have that out there for people to see. No matter how crazy or wacky it may be, it's an awesome achievement, man. So, you know, congratulations on that coming out.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I'm really, really happy about the way it's turned out. And now we're finally at the finish line. So it's like really cool. Like you said, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, even if people hate it, I can be like, man, I made this movie, and it's the kind of movie I like. And if you're looking for realism and like anything like that, you're going to hate it. But, you know, I think most people are going to get it and enjoy it.
You know, I'm just sad because we had talked about me coming down there and having a small role, and I just never made it because I'm lazy and I hate driving. But, you know, if there's ever a sequel, you know, definitely, hopefully I can make an appearance in that, you know.
Well, actually, so we are going to have like a pre-order campaign for the movie. And we've pretty much decided that's going to determine the fate on if there's a sequel. So, like, if a lot of people pre-order it and we make enough money, at least to cover the cost of making this one, we'll do another one. So that's the whole plan. And I will let everyone know when we have that up, and it should be soon. You just follow us on Facebook, Joe Stryker Movie.
Yeah, we'll make sure we pimp it out for you too on here.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Definitely. We'll have a link on the description to the Joe Stryker Facebook page, and like I said, all I've seen is what has been done with the trailer and some of the behind the scene pictures that you've sent me on Facebook. But from what I've seen, man, I'm really proud that you've done that, man. I think that's freaking awesome. That's amazing.
Thank you guys, man. That means a lot.
and also, like James said earlier, congrats on getting married. You got married this year, and for your guys' honeymoon, you guys went to Thailand.
Yeah, man. The original plan was Japan, and then we started looking at the prices of just everything, and we were like, fuck that. Like, I want to do it, and it's on my list.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to do it, but I was like, where else could we go? And we looked up Thailand. It's like, yeah, it's expensive getting there, but once you're there, I mean, we lived like kings for like nothing, dude. It was so awesome. We had like a. Oh, you're good. You can go.
No, I was about to ask you if because you're in Thailand, and I can only imagine how much bootleg video games you could have seen. Like, did you see a lot of bootleg video game stuff?
Yeah, the only problem was I just didn't know what a lot of it was.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was just like a lot of like characters I've never seen, and like, I couldn't read any of it. And I looked at like some Switch cards, like legit ones, and there was like a lot of games that I'd never heard of that were out on Switch, and I was like, whoa, what is this?
That's crazy.
We also went to this mall that's like kind of centered around Japanese culture. And had like a lot of like anime stores and game stores, and we went to a maid cafe, which I've only heard about like in like anime and stuff. But like we went there and had a blast, and like it was just I don't know, it was really really cool experience. Definitely very eye opening.
Did you feel like Kiru at any point of being in Thailand?
No, I didn't.
Because I was gonna say,
but I did.
Because there was some parts that I was seeing the pictures, and I was like, man, this makes me think of Yakuza.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. You know what's funny is, like, we were at that Japanese mall, and they had, like, this Japanese exhibit that was going on, and there was a dude that actually looked a lot like him walk by me, and he had, like, dragon tattoos and stuff, and I instantly thought Yakuza. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I think this guy's like a legit. I was probably, because I was kind of drunk too, so I was probably like yelling it. I probably could have got killed.
As long as he doesn't run into walls. As long as he doesn't run into walls going,
He may have, I don't know.
Does he come up Muay Thai, kick you in the head, And I will say, Thailand does have great RoboCop shirts, as I would thank you again. As I drunkenly harassed you, I don't even know what time it was with time difference. I think I hit you and Nicole, your lovely wife, up about this RoboCop shirt. And I was like, dude, can you get me a RoboCop shirt, man? And I was like, and the next day I was apologizing. They got me the RoboCop shirt. It's white. It's awesome. It's like Thai RoboCop, and it's like actually it's one of the coolest shirts. I probably wore it for like way longer than someone should probably wear a shirt before washing it, but gonna wash it one day. Actually, do you have any have you washed yours? Is there any particular recommendation? I don't know, because it's a foreign shirt. Should I be a little bit careful with drying or?
No, man, I've washed those things. I bought an Akira shirt, I bought a Godzilla shirt, a Jaws one from that same store, and they've been holding up great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's just a very comfortable shirt. You can even see like the logo on the back has this Thai. Like it was, the whole shirt was probably made in Thailand, printed. I mean, it's just it's super awesome. And I even told Ryan, I was like, dude, I'll keep it secret, man, because sometimes you go places and if you don't bring back gifts for everybody, most of us have cool friends that wouldn't get mad. But I was like, dude, I won't say anything about it. And he was like, dude, wear it with pride.
I was like, like, dude, come on, man. You're James Gruesome. Of course I'll get you a fucking RoboCop shirt. And I think it was like $2.
It's like the greatest $2 I think anybody could possibly spend.
That's awesome.
Well, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take a short break because we pretty much had to reunite for a second. We had to just kind of catch up on everything. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about a little bit of gaming news and a little bit of Halloween stuff. But sit back, guys, and check out the new Casket Creatures single, 112 Ocean Avenue. Definitely check this out, guys. We'll be right back.
speak to my desires, beings from another world, placing it in a fire. My instruments unfurled, death to those I love. All I see is red, no hope from God above. I cannot clear my head. Evil's taken hold. I'm not in control any longer. Visions of murder's past. It's happened here before, and it won't be the last. This place is wanting more. I hear them late at night, from a whisper to a shout. I will lose this fight. For God's sake, get out. Evil's taken hold. I'm not in control any longer. I'm losing sleep at night. I'm losing touch with reality. I see a frightened eyes, but they tell me who to kill. I want you by my side. I want a happy family, but you have got to die. But they tell me who to kill. They tell me who to kill. They're speaking to me now. Evil's taken hold. I'm not in control any longer. I'm losing sleep at night. I'm losing touch with reality. I see a frightened eyes, but they tell me who to kill. I want you by my side. I want a happy family, but you have got to die. But they tell me who to kill. I want you by my side. I want a happy family, but you have got to die. But they tell me who to kill. They tell me who to kill. They're speaking to me now.
The accused told police he heard voices coming from within the house telling him to murder his family.
All right, guys, and we are back. And again, that's the new Casket Creatures single, 112 Ocean Avenue, from the new album Folklore. That's going to be coming out. When's this coming out? It's coming out on Halloween, correct?
On Halloween, yep.
Yeah.
We've had it at our shows that we've played in October, like where you can buy a physical copy, but to actually listen to it and buy it worldwide, it's tomorrow.
That's awesome. And yeah, getting into some gaming news. There hasn't been a whole lot going on that's been too crazy. One thing that actually just happened a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh man, I got to talk about this on the podcast, is a Sonic the Hedgehog CD prototype ROM has actually surfaced. It's a prototype for Sonic CD, and you can download it and play it on a Sega Genesis, Sega CD emulator, and it's really interesting, like seeing the beginnings of Sonic CD and the Sega CD. And I watched a couple of videos. I hadn't had a chance to play it yet, but I was like, man, this is one of the reasons why I love emulation so much, because like if I ever actually wanted to play this on a physical hardware, it would have cost like so much freaking money for what it was, for like 2 minutes of gameplay.
I never knew anybody who had a Sega CD.
Me and James did.
It's one of those systems.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the systems now. I think when you go back and it's like it was like kind of cool. Like I think it was a little bit laughed at, and it does have some crappy games, which we're seeing some more releases of the Corey Haim game. And also Double Switch, that one has been coming out. Night Trap had a lot of the FMV games that were kind of silly, but it also had a lot of games. Possibly, as some think, one of the greatest Sonic games, being Sonic CD, and it was kind of one of those systems. I don't think people really knew how to take it. Excuse me. And Sega kind of always bombarded us with stuff during that period, so we really had a lot of it. I kind of think they went a bit too much too fast.
No pun intended.
I will give up.
Yeah, looking back, like I said, Sega CD was a really cool system, man. It is cool to still have one, but like you said, emulation is definitely key on that. It's just much easier, and it does have the ability, to play bootleg disc pretty much, because they didn't have copyright things, and nobody could afford a CD burner back when it came out. So
I wish the Switch would just import like the whole library, man. Because like there's so many things that like I remember seeing the ads for like in Game Informer, and I was like, oh my god, I want to like Night Trap was one of them. I was like, I want to play this so bad, and now I can, and now I'm very disappointed. But at least I got to play it.
Yeah, it was one of those games.
Very many emulation systems, and also the Retro Bro, which has almost the full Sega CD catalog that you can check out there through our friend John Elagio.
Indeed,
I have one of those. It's awesome.
Speaking of Retro Bro, he's actually working on something really cool. He's right now there. I don't want to give out too much because it's still like behind the scenes, but I know he's already made a Facebook Lite page, so I can say how much is doing. But he's getting into like the Pi and the arcade scene, like Pi arcade units. So that's going to be really cool. Check out Level Up Arcade on Facebook. Check that out, and like I said, it's very much in early stages, and it's gonna be wild just to think that there's gonna be these affordable arcade cabinets that are gonna have Raspberry Pis inside, and it's pretty much gonna be a main cabinet. You can play as much as you want, and I know John's a really good guy. I know when it comes out, it's gonna be great. He puts out quality stuff.
Definitely someone you can hit up, any issues, problems. He's wanting to help you out really with anything. He's definitely a quality guy with a quality product, I mean, we're endorsing. So obviously,
oh yeah,
we stand for it.
Yeah. I remember I ordered a Pi from him, and he was like super cause I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what I need to start. I was like emulation was like new to me, and I was like, I don't even know. Like, I want to play these games. That's all I know. And he was like, well, this is what you need. This is what I can help you with. And like, he laid it all out so easy for like a noob like me to emulation. I was like, this is awesome. He made it so easy, and he's a really friendly dude.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the Retro Bro unit, like he has different setups. Like if you want a Pi that has a bunch of PlayStation stuff, there's like a certain card, like a certain SD card storage that you can get for that. Or if you want one that's got more arcade stuff, you can get that. I mean, and then if you just want to build your own image, like what I mean by that is like getting your own version of RetroPie on an SD card into a Raspberry Pi. He can help you out with that too. So I mean, it's really cool. I like the transparency that he has with his business, because a lot of these Facebook companies, they'll have like a Raspberry Pi, and they're like, this is the Retro BS4, an original idea we came up with. And I'm like, dude, that's a Raspberry Pi. I fucking hate that. I've been banned from so many Facebook pages because I would like comment like, I'd be like that kid like Simpsons did it. I'm like, that's a Raspberry Pi. And they ended up getting like I would end up like disappearing and getting deleted from all the freaking sketchy people. But speaking of quality product, there is a console coming out, a handheld console from Analog. If you guys have heard about this, the Analog Pocket. Have you guys heard about that?
Yes, I have.
What'd you think about that, James?
I haven't heard anything about it.
I mean, for me, it's one of those ones because I'm a huge fan, of course, Game Boy, and just handhelds in general. And I mean, this really seems to be that, all-in encompassive version. We've seen them put out good versions that the analog systems that are very good, high quality but affordable. NESs, I think they did a Super NES, and this one, man, the ability to play Game Boy and GBA. And of course, Game Boy Color, off the bat, and then you hear about, of course, add-ons, for Game Gear, the Atari Lynx, which is just pretty crazy. Neo Geo Pocket Color, of course, I have one. I got it from you. It's a very cool system. That ability to play all those on, high quality system, and it even has a built-in. I don't know a whole lot about this stuff. It's a built-in, like chiptune programmer thing. If you know how to make music on one of those, so it really has a lot of awesome stuff with it. And I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, man, I have the ability to play these things on other systems. I mean, minus the links, but to have that all in one, it is really cool. The price for me, it's still a little debatable. It is going to be about $200, but I think for what all it has with it, it could be really cool. It's one I might kind of tuck away for because I like that idea, having that all in one, just full on, kind of like a new system, as far as capabilities of it, and to be able to play everything on it, dude. Like I think it's really awesome. Like we've heard about this, for a little while. I think there was that one version that attached to your phone, sounded kind of weird. Don't know a whole lot about that, but this one's definitely a legit product. And it's just, if you're that into handhelds, like I think this would be the system to get, really.
Well, what's cool about it is it's not just a clone console. It's actually an FPGA grade console. Now, what that is most of these clone consoles are using software emulation, meaning they have software that can emulate the games and everything, where this is the hardware. It's actually hardware emulation. I mean, it's as close as you can get to playing on the OG consoles. And Analog, that company, like all their consoles they make, they're kind of a little bit more on the pricey side, but you're getting the actual real deal as close as you can possibly. And what's really cool about the Analog, I found out recently, is not only will it play all those handheld games, but also it has like a charging dock that you can actually charge it and hook it up through HDMI and play it on your television as well.
Yeah, I would say I do believe that charging dock, though, is extra.
I
do not think it's included with the system. So you're looking at $200 for the base and possibly up to maybe another. I'm thinking maybe $50 to $100. Stop playing with my wire. I'm sorry, my cat is attacking my cord. But still, like I said, just the capability of this, and when you add in, like I said, that dock, like if you're really into handheld, truly, like this is the system, because like I said, they put out a quality product. Like it's not some BS. It's not even like, Retron 5. Like this is really a step up from that. It's the one, if you're a little bit more serious about your stuff, you go with their products. And as far as this with the handheld, like I really expect nothing but, kind of the best in that. Like I said, it's going to cover a lot. And I think it would be just a really cool thing to have. Like I said, I am tempted. It is, a little high because it's like, man, I could put that towards the, PS5 or Xbox 7. It's like I could do that, but it is tempting, because I do love my handhelds.
I was about to say, Ryan, you've gotten a little bit more into the handheld gaming yourself. I remember we've talked about the Nintendo Switch and how much you've been really enjoying that because, being on the road with your band and everything like that.
Dude, I love it, man. It's the best thing ever. Especially when we flew like on our honeymoon, it was the best thing ever to just have the Switch there and I could play whatever I want. It was just great, man. It just passes so much time, and it's like I'm getting to play like a lot of like old games that I missed and stuff like that, and they come out in the Switch store, and I'm like, man, I always wanted to play that. Now here's the perfect reason for me to get it,
Yeah, it's funny.
I love it, man.
Yeah, it's funny because there's times like there's games that I already have, but I will end up rebuying it just for the Switch, just for that portability convenience. Like I want to check out Ni no Kuni. I have Ni no Kuni on the PS3. I could play it right after the show if I wanted to. I could just put it in my PS3 and play it. But I want it on the Switch because I'm like, well, shit, I can take it, when I'm at work, I can play Ni no Kuni while I'm at work. It's funny because I was thinking of the other day, I was at work and I was sitting there playing like Super Mario Brothers 3, and I'm like, man, my younger self would be shitting his pants right now if he knew that he was at work playing Nintendo,
Yeah.
Really does cover. You can get that. What is the game that I love so much? I feel like a dipshit. I told everybody I was brain dead before this episode started. I'm forgetting the name. It was an Xbox 360. That weird Twin Peaksy.
Oh, Deadly
game.
Premonition.
Oh yeah, Deadly Premonition.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that one, which I bought on the Switch. I've not even started yet, but I love that game so much. I still wanted to support it and buy it on there and hopefully one day beat it. So that is another awesome game everybody should check out.
Yeah, I think the only complaint, it's not even a legit complaint, but the only complaint I have about the Switch is like I prefer to get any game that comes out. I prefer to get the Switch version. Mm-hmm. And there's just been a few times where that's kind of burned me because the Switch port just isn't as good. Like Bloodstained, for example. I'm not saying that the port's bad, but like I just wasn't really feeling it.
It wasn't
like I don't.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as like the PS4, Xbox One, and I still don't think they fixed it. Like the patches, they've been saying they're going to update the patches with the frame rate and everything, and I don't think they still haven't done that. And there's parts in that game that, as much as I really enjoyed Bloodstained, but I mean, I'm not going to sit there and like try to hide the fact that there were parts in that game where like the load times and the frame rate definitely kind of hindered the gaming experience a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, and I got that, and I got Mortal Kombat 11, and both of those I ended up rebuying it on PlayStation so I could enjoy it.
Did you get the Mortal Kombat 11 on the way to Thailand? I remember us talking about one game that we kind of thought there might be some issues with. Was that one of them? I
think that was it, and yes, I know that was it because I was like, oh, it'd be awesome. Like we can play Mortal Kombat on the flight with the Joy-Cons. That'd be so cool.
I ruined it. I told him about it.
Yeah, and yeah, man, it was like so poor. Like it wasn't like Bloodstained. Yeah, it was like frame rate and like some minor things. And I ended up getting the PS4 version and playing through that, and I loved it. I thought it was incredible. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 11, in my opinion, the Switch port is almost unplayable. Like it is like straight up garbage. Like it just like I went to the crypt. And I was like, why does this look like everything's just like a gray blob? And like, I think that's supposed to be a tree, but I can't really tell.
Oh no.
And like all this, it was like really bad. And then the people at GameStop, I'll admit, I kind of played dumb. Like I just didn't know. And I was like, oh, I meant to get the one on PS4. And then they were just like, yeah, that's cool. And they swapped it for me. And I was
Shout out to GameStop.
Yeah.
Some of them are still cool.
Yeah, they swapped it out for me and they got me the PlayStation version. I took that home and it was like gorgeous. It was like great. It was amazing. So that's the only bad thing. So now I'm starting to learn. It's like, okay, like, some of these like JRPGs and stuff, it's like those are going to be great on the Switch. But yeah, it's like some games with like a lot, like I'm scared to get The Witcher 3 on the Switch. I mean, I've heard decent things, but I'm scared. I'm like, I don't know. Cause I love The Witcher. I love Witcher 3, but, I love it on PlayStation. I just cannot imagine that it looks good at all on the Switch. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
it's just there's some things that are better made for Switch.
It can be a question because, like I said, we're all admittedly fans of the Switch, and I'm like you, and Xander's the same dude. Like, sometimes if we get the opportunity, like we'll get the game on the Switch.
Yeah,
like, if we know it'll run fine, but at the same time too, we will criticize it. And like you said, I'm skeptical with some games. But for the most part, it has done, really good. And it gives you that dual, ability to have the portable, the regular, it really is great. But, like you said, it does have its issues at times.
It does.
That's one of the things that I'm kind of, as much as I love the Switch and I love Nintendo, that's one of the things that I'm kind of worried about with the new generation. I mean, obviously, when you buy the Switch, you're not buying it for the graphics. But the problem that I'm having with it is with the PS5 and the new Xbox coming out, I'm worried that those consoles are going to be so much more powerful that what's going to happen with third party with ports? Like, how much of a dumbed down version is the Switch going to get? Unless they make, the Switch Pro or more powerful Switch at this point, which I think it's inevitable that they're going to have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I've wondered about that myself because, like you said, games are getting so ridiculously good. It's like I know it's not feasible, but I almost wish that they would just have even if they got to get another team to like kind of optimize it for the Switch to where it can look. Because I feel like the Switch. I mean, I've played some games on there that have wowed me. I mean, like Breath of the Wild. Obviously, the art style helped a lot, but that game fully wowed me when I played it. I was like, oh my god, this looks incredible. And I know it's capable of a lot more than Mortal Kombat 11 gaming,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's always a gamble because I remember even Skyrim. A buddy of mine got Skyrim on the Switch, and it was amazing and it played good, but you could definitely tell it was like the Xbox 360 version of Skyrim compared to Skyrim HD on PS4. It didn't look as good, but it looked just as good as you could remember and playing it on a portable screen. I mean, you're playing portable Skyrim. You can't really complain too much about that,
No, yeah, I've played Skyrim a bunch on the Switch, and I love it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the hell out of it. And yeah, like you said, it's I have the PS4 version. I mean, I think everyone at this point owns Skyrim on multiple systems.
Yeah.
But I the PS4 one looks incredible. But it's what are you gonna do, man? It's I got portable Skyrim. It's just I don't know. Some of them just feel so dumbed down that it's it's a little hard to deal with when you're I could have this awesome version.
Yeah. But then again, they'll also come out with a version that's more like a definitive version. Like a great example would be Dragon Quest 11. Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch. Even though it doesn't look as good as the PS4 version, they've added so much more content. And the ability of switching from 3D to 2D, it almost makes up for the fact that it's not as vibrant. It's got a little bit of blur to it, but that's okay because I'm getting so much more content and that portability. So it's a really interesting generation of gaming. I will say that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And yeah, I gotta get Dragon Quest 11. It looks incredible.
Did you play the demo?
No, I haven't played any of it yet. I really haven't had a lot of time. It's about to free up for the holidays, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to play that one. I just know it's one that I'm about to sink a lot of time into. So I'm trying to finish up some of my backlog. I'm still playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I love. It's incredible.
It gives you a really sick demo, though, doesn't it? Is it up to 10 hours or something?
Yeah, well, I was about to say that the demo is 10 hours long, and the progress that you have on the demo carries on to the actual game. So you're actually playing the first 10 hours of Dragon Quest through the demo, and then once you get the game, you don't have to go back through that first 10 hours of the game. Which is amazing.
There's no excuse to not get it. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah. I was just okay, because I heard the demo was out, and I was do I really want to check this out? And I heard it was they're the demo's 10 hours long, and it carries on. I'm like, wow. And I feel I wish more JRPGs kind of did that, because that's kind of the most mundane thing about starting new games. Sometimes it's the beginning of just how to play this, how to do that, and just trying to get the gears rolling and the engine reffing up so you can enjoy the game. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, I totally agree, man. There's been a lot of games where it's the first few hours, I really ended up loving Persona 5, but I played the first it was literally the first 10 hours. I'm what is all the hype of this game? Why does everyone like this? And then I finally got to a point where I got in the loop of it and started understanding it, and I was oh, this fucking rules. But it did take you had to get through that long process to get there,
Yeah.
Yeah, there really is no excuse. I want to try it myself. I'm not a certain RPG. Can catch me the right way, and I can really be into it. So it's that's one I've really been wanting to try. It's really no excuse not to, considering you can get up to 10 hours. You definitely know. I think if you'd like a game or be hooked on it within 10 hours, I mean that's really got to be the ultimate demo of all time. I think to be able to.
Oh yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah. I mean, because that's a lot of people probably won't even get through that first 10 hours. I mean, how many games have you played where you play it 5 hours and quit, you know?
It's me. I probably play it 30 minutes and quit. It's like, that's what I say. I think that one, like I really do want to try, because I've always, ever since the free Nintendo Power version, when they gave you a Dragon Warrior, I really did. Like I always did like that series. I have the Game Boy one that's got 1 and 2. So it's one like I've always been attached to. It was like I played it after Final Fantasy, so it was a little bit more basic at that time. But it's a game that's really come into its own, and I think it really does, stand up against Final Fantasy. And it's a game I think that we sometimes get maybe a little bit more releases, or at least we get a better demo, as we can say from this, because you get to play that shit for 10 hours, man. That's awesome.
I was about to say, Ryan, didn't you play Dragon Quest Builders 2?
No, I talked to you about it because I was thinking about getting it, but it didn't have local co-op, and sometimes it's kind of a deal breaker with certain games.
Yeah.
Because my wife loves playing games, and so a lot of times it's like the recently we played through all of Borderlands 3 like 100% because it's fun, it's couch co-op, it's like just we can sit down and play it together, and like neither one of us is just sitting there bored,
I was
waiting
about to say,
on the other person to finish.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Dragon Quest Builders 2 was a lot of fun. But now that you mentioned local co-op, I have to ask you, are you going to possibly get Luigi's Mansion 3? Because it's got couch co-op.
Yes. Oh, dude,
yeah.
I'm buying that immediately. And from what I understand, the couch co-op is like fully functional.
Yeah.
It's not like a hat situation, like a Cappy, where it's like, you can just throw Cappy and that's it,
Yeah, I like the fact that it was an afterthought. Like they were actually like, hey, let's add some multiplayer, let's add some online multiplayer and local co-op, and have a good time. And I definitely want to check out Luigi's Mansion. That comes out on Halloween. I'm not going to get it yet.
Perfect.
But I'm going to be getting it very soon because my girlfriend's the same way. Like it's funny when I get a game, I like to kind of get a game that maybe me and her can play, because it gives me more of an excuse to play games as well, because it's not like I'm just sitting there playing a game and she's just kind of like, all right, I'm getting kind of bored. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's play Super Mario Maker 2, We've played like 80 hours of Mario Maker 2. It's insane.
That's brutal. I'm the one that gets left out because my wife, she is not too into games, but once in a while she has said, hey, let's play Mario Kart or House of the Dead, and I cherish those moments, We're not always on the same page with everything, but it still works out,
Oh yeah.
That's the key of marriage always.
Yeah, my
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my girlfriend, like, she's very interesting with her taste in gaming, because like games that have a long story or take a while to get started, she gets bored real fast. Like I think she's more of like a retro kind of gamer, because she likes playing Mega Man and Castlevania and Mario Maker, like Mario games. She's not big into Sonic, like she doesn't like Sonic, and I think it's because the same reason why I have problems with Sonic is the freaking water levels. That countdown like gives you freaking anxiety.
I hate that.
Oh yeah, I think that's the reason why she doesn't like playing that too much. But like, if I'm playing a game that has a lot of dialogue, she's like, okay, when's the game actually start? I want to play a video game, not watch a movie. And I'm like, damn, okay.
Stay away from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh god. Speaking of that, are you gonna check out Death Stranding?
I'm definitely gonna. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not like one of those Kojima like is God things, but like I do like his boldness and like his ability to just be like, I'm a weird dude. Here's some weird shit. Enjoy it or don't. I don't care. And I appreciate that, because I'm kind of like that too. Not in a genius way like he is a lot of the time, but like in a way where I just don't care. I'm just like, I like this. This is what I'm going to do. And I respect him. So like, I feel like it's going to be good. I don't know what the hell it's about.
That's what I was about to say. It's like, it's so funny. Like everyone that I know, they're like, man, I'm buying this day one. And I'm like, oh, what's the game about? I don't understand. They're like, I don't fucking know, but I want to get it day one. It's the only game I've ever heard of where people have bought the game that have no idea what they're buying it themselves into. Never seen that.
Yeah, I appreciate him as an artist. Like, I think he's a visionary for sure. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it day one. Like, I'll be clear about that. Like, I'll probably give it a little while. I will see what people think. I'll look up some actual gameplay videos, and then I may bite the bullet. But I do think it looks interesting. I mean, hopefully it has some remnants of the long lost PT, which I still stand by as the greatest horror game experience I've ever had in my life. So
that one was very cool. I got to experience that myself, and that's the thing. Like, that's the kind of game, the new Kojima game that my wife would appreciate that. So it's possible like that would be one I could get. Because she has her moments with. She's even like some moments of Yakuza. They kind of stood out because it's very interesting. Like, she actually watched the Yakuza movie before. I think maybe she even saw some of the game and she enjoyed the movie. Like, my wife actually enjoys video game movies a bit more than the video games themselves, which is still, like, we know video game movies kind of suck, but it's still kind of fun because you can appreciate that suckiness with your significant other. We like Doom. They did the Doom movie with The Rock, man. I don't care. Like,
I haven't actually seen it.
I haven't either.
It sucks, but it's kind of cool. So I think both of y'all could appreciate that. So I would say maybe check it out sometime. Not as bad. It's definitely a low point in The Rock's career, I'm sure. But it's still it has its place.
I think The Rock's doing just fine.
Yeah, like good God, he's like the highest paid. What a testament to the wrestling community. I gotta say, I'm proud of Mr. Dwayne Johnson there from the start with his pineapple hair with Rocky Maivia, as he said himself. He said that, not me. And I do think, he's awesome, and it's really cool to see, one of the greatest wrestlers. You got to say, greatest wrestlers and entertainers of our time, in wrestling, to step out. This is not No Holds Barred, which I love. I love No Holds Barred.
I love that movie.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love that movie, but Rock has managed even movies you think that's like, man, that Jumanji Part 2, or remake, really, he pulls it off, man.
Dude, Jumanji was actually a really good movie. I thought, like, the first one. I don't know about the second one, but.
He's come a long way since the Tooth Fairy. That's all I'm saying, man. He's really stepped out.
And the Scorpion King.
Yeah. Two of his earliest ones, and yet he has stepped out and he has taken over Hollywood. John Cena, he's creeping up a bit. John Cena's pulling it off. Give him credit too. But he's never going to be The Rock. And right now you're looking at a guy, former WWE World Champion, WWF World Champion, is now the highest paid actor in Hollywood. And as a wrestling fan, I tip my hat to The Rock on this Halloween.
Now, we're getting close to the time, so we're going to get into games we've been playing recently. And I want to start off with this because I think both of you guys would really appreciate this, because I haven't been playing much, but what I did play, I definitely want to talk about, and I made a video about it. It's not up yet. From recording this, it's probably gonna be up very soon. But I played Yakuza Dead Souls. I finally played it. Bought it off PSN for $4.99. I was like, you know what, $5. If it's terrible, it's like the pack. It's like as much as a pack of cigarettes. I can live without that. But yeah, it was pretty terrible.
Okay. I was like, I'm curious to hear.
Yeah, it was.
I kind of gave it ahead of time. I've hated that. It's much maligned for me due to it, jumping on the zombie craze, almost killing the Yakuza franchise. Some people stick up for it. And at the end, I did say, I don't think it's as bad maybe as I made it out to be. It was the first really wacky Yakuza game. And, I have a biased opinion, and everything's done. We have too many Yakuza games almost at this point. So I'll give it to you. So go ahead and give it up with what you thought.
It's got everything that we love about the Yakuza series. It's got the wacky side quests. It's got a pretty good story considering it is a zombie game, and it's not canon to the Yakuza series. So just remember, if you never played this game, it's okay, because the story doesn't pertain to any of the other 6 games. But it's just the gun mechanics are really bad. Like they're
Plays
really,
like
really
old
bad.
school Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, it's like old school Resident Evil, but it tries to do like the Resident Evil 4 like over the shoulder like target mode. Which okay, when you do the over the shoulder target mode, both of you guys can attest to this. You can move left, right, up, and down, right? In that point of view.
Yeah.
In Dead Souls, you can only look up and down.
Yeah, it's very, very old. That's like I throw it back to the old Resident Evil. Like,
Yeah, it's bad.
Tank control on it, like
So it sounds like a combination of like Resident Evil 1 and 4.
you know, dude. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like really like a reticule. It's like you just kind of aim and shoot and hope you're kind of pointing in the right
Oh,
direction.
no.
And,
Yeah.
and it's not so bad when
What do
you're...
y'all think about the?
What was that?
Shoot, go for it.
Oh, sorry. I was saying. What do you think about now they're going turn based?
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Interesting. Yeah, we spoke on that maybe the last episode or the one prior to where it's so new and different. Me being of course, I'm the Yakuza king. You know, I am the Yakuza. I think there's almost
I agree.
dude. Like I see people going through these games. Like I have not beat 6 yet. I didn't finish Dead Eyes or whatever it was called yet. I didn't finish that yet. I've been playing this for 15 years, and
I
so
say
many
you
people
got us.
You're
the one that got us
so many
into
people
it.
So many people got to overdose within a short amount of time to where like it's too much Yakuza for me. I admit it. It's too much. But I love seeing people being introduced to the franchise and people love it. But for me personally, I've been going over this franchise for 15 years or so, and I'm used to a little bit slower pace, so it's a little bit of an overload, for me. So, that's my only take on it. And my brain deadness, I lost track of what I was originally talking about.
But yeah,
Somebody catch me up.
but yeah, it's
So
one of those
basically,
things.
Dead Souls not
Dead Souls, right?
Dead Souls not necessarily something that you should run out and buy.
Yeah, I would say
But worth
it's-
$5, right? Worth
Yeah.
$5?
Okay, this is the best way to describe it. Dead Souls is like that. Like if you're listening to like certain bands, like you say that a band makes an album that everyone's like, oh, it's their kind of experimental album. It's kind of like their album that is underrated.
It's
or
kind of bad because Ryan was talking about experimental
yeah.
folklore earlier.
Okay,
So maybe
well, it's not. It is not it's not folklore. It's not that. But it's more like it's like it's like Iron Maiden's Virtual 11. Okay, some people love Blaze Bailey, and some people don't like Blaze Bailey. Some people like Dead Souls, and some people don't like Dead Souls. And I'm kind of in the middle in the sense that I like it, but I don't want to go back and play it. I had my fix. I could say I played it, and that ride is over with.
First playable Majima levels. We'll give it that. It's quirky, which is more known. But I think this was the first like real super quirky game that came in it. Like I said, it has its place. It's there. I'd kind of rather see some of the Japanese more samurai titles like Kenzan and such that we didn't get. Even the PSP games like Black Tiger. I think that was Black Panther, one of those ones. I'd like to see some of those. Like it's not Yakuza, but it's in that universe. And I think for $5, really, everybody probably should check it out, but just don't expect too much from it. That's probably pretty much what we're saying.
That's been pretty much
Gotcha.
me. Other than I've been playing Untitled Goose, the Untitled Goose game, which has been a lot of fun. It's like a puzzler kind of adventure game where you're playing as a goose and you have objectives just to be a dick to everybody, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, that one sounded kind of interesting. I've been hearing a lot about that.
It's so good. It is so good. It's kind of like you unfold unfortunate events to humans and make their lives terrible. Like it'd be like, all right, your objective right now is to make this kid put on the wrong pair of glasses. So what do is you find out that the kid's scared of you because you honk at him. So you honk at him, so he starts running, and while he's running away from you, you nip at his shoes so they get untied and he falls on his face. And when he falls on his face, you grab another pair of sunglasses from like a store or something, and you put the glasses there, so he puts on the wrong glasses. Like you do stuff like that just to like mess around with people. I think it's like a $15 game on the Switch, and I highly recommend it. I think it's already won a couple of I think it won an Australian like Game of the Year award in Australia. So it's really good.
Yeah, it's when you hear about geese are kind of jerks. If you've ever lived around them, I used to live on a lake, and I've experienced them, and I've had a friend of ours that used to play in the Green Goblin Project, which is an awesome band, that hawked a loogie on one of the geese, and I didn't feel bad about it because the geese were kind of jerks. I will say, as much as Halloween is the season, I've been struggling with it, like I said earlier, due to the weather, things like that. I did watch a really awesome movie, as my game time has not been that big, but City of the Dead, also known as Horror Hotel. It's a Christopher Lee movie from the 60s about witches, which is really cool. It's been one of my favorite movies of the season. Though I have not watched very many, horror movies, which is, I watch a lot, just throughout the year. But, it's the time you really try to focus on that, and you really do want to watch some. And like I said, that one, Horror Hotel or City of the Dead, Christopher Lee, it's a really awesome flick. I did watch Dolomite Is My Name. That is out on Netflix. I actually had the privilege in a movie that is not yet released, but I think with the hype of Dolomite now, it may come out. It came from Trafalgar. It's actually Dolomite's or Rudy Ray Moore's last movie that he did. That I'm thinking, who knows? Like I said, with the hype, it may come out. But Dolomite Is My Name. Eddie Murphy, Craig Robinson from The Office. Just lots of Wesley Snipes is in it. It was an amazing movie. Had me tearing up a little bit because you leave it feeling good. I throw it up there with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino movie, which I absolutely loved. Probably one of my favorite movies ever. I think actually after seeing it, I thought it was there because I love just that 70s cinema. It both encompasses that, and you leave both those movies just feeling really good. And since it's Halloween, I will throw out a couple games that I do love. Until Dawn, always a classic.
Oh yeah,
the same team doing Man of Medan, which I've not finished yet. Yeah, it's really cool. Check it out. I mean, if you liked Until Dawn at all, just check out Man of Medan. There's a whole series they have planned out. It's kind of an anthology of different games. I love the idea of out on the ocean, which is always, spooky, and you're on a ghost ship. It's a really cool game. And the Friday the 13th puzzle game, I mentioned that last episode, which is one of the last ones also I had played. And still trying to get through Blasphemous. I've just been hurting I have a lot of cats now. Like I said last time, I adopted one of my friend's cats, and I do a lot of cat stuff, and there's just a whole lot of that going on. And I wish I did play more games. You think with the handheld and the Switch, I could do that, but I have trouble multitasking. And,
you're like, I want to play some. You're like, I want to play some more games, but my hands are full of cats.
Yeah, they are. They're just always full of cats. It's brutal. They live separate lives. I have one that has his own room, and my girls, they stay out, and I switch cats. We'll have we'll have Leonard come out for a while, and we just trade cats out. I'm still loving NWA Power. That's available on YouTube if you're into wrestling. And like I said, still check out. As we said, systems we would purchase a system for. AEW, they're going to be coming out with a game, and I'm telling you, it's going to be the team. They did No Mercy. I've heard some speculation that it might be Ukes going over there, but I don't know. This is going to be an interpretation of a 64 game that I think is really going to pull it off, because all those guys that are wrestling there, they're big gamers. They played these games. They love the Virtual Pro. AEW is going to come out with the ultimate game, and I'm not sucking on AEW's balls because I'm not I like NWA. I'm old school, but I'm telling you, they're going to come out probably with the ultimate wrestling game, and I can't wait because I've been playing WWE 2K20. I'm gonna throw this in for the last bit. It sucks. I think it sucked for a while. I just don't really have fun with it. I do like what they've done with the arenas. They have one in a baseball field. They have a dilapidated high school gym. Some things are really cool, but it's just not fun to play. And you can see online some of the glitches. It was an incomplete game. Ukes left. Virtual Concepts took over. And it's an incomplete game. Patches are coming. It's garbage. Everybody hates it. They're getting refunds. It sucks. Buy Fire Pro AW game coming out soon. It's going to be dope. I'm done. Ryan, what have you been playing?
I've been playing, unfortunately, haven't really been playing many horror games except for Man and Medan. Me and my wife played that and had a blast.
Did you beat it?
I'm really stoked for the. Yeah. We beat it and it was so good that like we started it over and I was like, oh, I wonder what would happen if I did this instead. And it seems to branch off even more than Until Dawn, where it's like the endings you can get and stuff are like wildly different. So I'm really, really digging it. I like those kind of games because that's another one that's like fun to play with somebody. It's kind of just like an interactive movie in a way. It's got some really good scares.
Has, I think, some online multiplayer stuff. So it's one that's definitely extra cool to check out. Like you said, it's supposedly shorter than Until Dawn, but it does have more branching past.
But I think it was like 20, maybe $30. But I mean, it's like 5, maybe 6 hours. But like I said, I think it's way more replayable. Because it just seems like there's a lot more options on what you can do, and if you want to be a dick or if you want to screw someone over, or, just stuff like that. It just seems to. It seems like I don't know. I like Until Dawn better, but Until Dawn's like a full game. This is like a little section of a game, so I'm eager to see what the next one is. I think it involves witches, I believe, from what I saw from the trailer. So that sounds pretty cool. I'm down with that. I'm down with some witches. Spooky. And then, other than that, I've been playing Astral Chain, which is amazing. It's really hard, and I suck at it because there's just like almost too much you can do during a fight. Like I'm like, what the hell do I press to do this? And like it's like one of those games I keep coming back to. Like I'll skip it for a couple weeks, play Fire Emblem, come back to that, and then I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember how to do anything. So it's definitely one of those with it's a fight mechanic that makes sense when you're playing it a lot, but and it works really well. But if you take some time off of it, it takes a long time to remember how to do everything again. That's my only complaint about it. But Astral Chain, incredible. Fire Emblem 3 Houses is awesome. Man of Medan. Borderlands 3 was really fun. And I think that's all I've played recently.
Nice. Now, I think this is going to wrap up the episode there. But before we leave, Ryan, do us a favor and do a quick plug of Casket Creatures and your endeavors and where folks can check out your band, check out Joe Stryker, check out everything that's going on.
And Theme Park Alchemy with the awesome Banana Breath candle. Make sure you plug.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I'll start with that. Yeah, Theme Park Alchemy are still running strong. We have a lot more different varieties of scents. We have like a Killer Clowns inspired one now that's really cool for the horror fans. It smells like cotton candy, and it's delicious and amazing. It makes your house smell great. But basically it's theme park inspired candles. We have Pirates of the Caribbean inspired. I'm a theme park nerd, and it's like a way to bring these experiences home with you. So
I would
really
say
cool.
too, as someone that has purchased a few of them and tried them out, like I've never been to theme parks and like I still love them. So screw Yankee Candle.
That's awesome.
If you want really cool candles, go with a very great independent promotion, production, and a store, people that, like I said, I know you are very familiar with the theme parks, and I'm pretty sure this wouldn't capture it. Like I said, I've not experienced it, but I still love them. Dude, Jaws, King Kong, so many different movies and so many different smells, and they're really awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking at
the King Kong one, Banana Breath, that one right there. Bob Gurr, the guy who actually made the ride, the guy who helped make the ride, one of the Imagineer is not the correct term because that's a Disney term, but basically that's what he does. And Bob Gurr actually got a hold of one of our candles and took a picture of it with the actual model of the King Kong animatronic, and was like, "Oh, this is awesome." Yeah, it was super cool. Like it made us like geek out like crazy. So because he's like royalty in like Disney and Universal history. So, but that was really cool. And then I got an action movie coming out that has taken up like a year of my life. I feel like this year has just flown by because we've just been working on this. Like I work all week. I'm in a band and we're filming a movie. So I apparently like to just give myself work all the damn time. But yeah, so Joe Stryker is coming out November 16th. That's our first official premiere. We're going to have pre-order links up soon. So definitely check that out. And the Casket Creatures Folklore album will be out probably by the time you hear this. So, I mean, I believe it's going to drop like tonight at midnight. So.
Oh, yeah. And you guys can check that out on Spotify as well as XS Gaming Podcast. If you're not listening to us on Spotify, we are now on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube. It's getting to the point now where, there's no excuse why no one's listening to XS Gaming Podcast unless they're just like, man, these guys suck. But
fuck those people.
Fuck those guys. But again, Ryan, man, I want to say thank you very much for being on the show. Again, for me, it's not officially Halloween without having an XS Gaming Podcast episode with Ryan Cadaver. It's not possible. You've been doing this with us
I'm
for
super stoked, man. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you've been doing this with us for I think 4 or 5 years now. You've been on the podcast every Halloween. So again, man, thank you very much for all the support and best of luck to all your endeavors, man. Maybe next year when we start talking, we'll be talking about, another Casket Creatures album, Joe Stryker 4, and Joe Stryker action figures. Theme Park Alchemy just opened up a multi-chain store, Definitely.
That would be fantastic. And Joe Stryker action figures, that's a great idea. I'm going to have to see how I can make that happen.
That would be great. Make them.
Hopefully, we'll have you by Christmas again.
Yeah.
Since if I survive through that with my job, we always do a Christmas episode. And if I'm still around, then we will do that, and that too would be awesome.
Yeah,
we love the holidays.
Because me too, man. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. I love Halloween. I like it all. I'm not an elitist. I know I'm in a spooky band, but I like it all.
I want to give one other shout out to your wife's podcast, Caught Dead Watching, which I don't know if they've ever done it, but hopefully one day they would do. As I was saying, before we talked before the show, I said I'd kind of like to redo my October and Halloween. And some people do a Hanksgiving where they watch Tom Hanks movies, and I'm not really into that. Except for Mazes and Monsters, which I think would be perfect for Caught Dead Watching. That has your wife and former guest of the show too, Nathan Hamilton, that they do, which I think they should do Mazes and Monsters, and maybe I should be on that sometime because I'm kind of obsessed with that movie and the Satanic Panic and evil things that have to do with Dungeons and Dragons. Even though I don't play.
Oh hell yeah, I'll talk to her about it. I'm sure she'd be down for that.
That probably needs to happen. So.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're really good. Caught Dead Watching is amazing. And I always show up on there here and there because I live at the house that they record in. So a lot of times they'll just be like, hey, Ryan, what do you think about that? And I'm like, this movie fucking sucks or whatever,
You just keep walking. It's like you're walking to get a drink.
Yeah,
let's see what Ryan thinks about you. You crack the Mountain Dew can. You're just like, it sucks. You sip and walk away.
Fucking sucks. 2 thumbs down.
Mazes and Monsters for me. That's fucking crap.
Well, again, everyone, we want to thank you for checking out another episode of XS Gaming Podcast. And again, be sure to check us out on other platforms in case you guys didn't know. Again, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, iTunes. And, of course, you can listen, if you're listening on those platforms, you can listen to our archive episodes on youtube.com/StanderSkullion. And be sure to check out the description because I'm going to have a lot of links to all of Ryan Cadaver's just stuff that he's doing, man. The guy's really, really busy. You guys should support him and check out everything. And as always, guys, thanks for listening. And as always, happy gaming.
Have a pleasant evening. Banana Breath, Theme Park, Alchemy. Check it out and buy one of those because it smells really fucking
good. Happy Halloween.
Yes.